Having kindly taken in my just graduated cousin, I never imagined discovering her affair with my husband. Late at night, while I was sound asleep, the two of them were unrestrained in the living room, the kitchen, and the bathroom. Just then, my husband's handsome and wealthy older brother returned from studying abroad. At night, I entered his room, and since my husband was unrighteous, don't blame me for being. 1. I received a strange package, and when I opened it, it turned out to be a piece of sexy lingerie. The recipient's name was blurred. Was it sent to the wrong person, or was it a surprise from my husband? There was also a card in the package which read, "When that old hag is not at home, I will wear it for my brother-in-law to see, and let's try it on the balcony." Realizing that my husband might be having an affair, I checked his phone while he was asleep at night to confirm. My husband's phone is usually not locked to me. I check his phone every day, and there are no problems. But today I unexpectedly found that I couldn't unlock it. I had no choice but to unlock it with my husband's fingerprint, only to find that this was actually a spare phone that was the same as his phone. Thank you, brother-in-law, for the necklace. I like it so much. Then I will reluctantly forgive you for hurting me last night. Paired with a sexy photo with a cleavage that is about to come out. But it is obvious that it is squeezed out of a pair of cups. And the person who sent this message is my cousin Maya, who has been staying at my house. The matter of the affair is a certainty, and I am very angry. The necklace on her neck was unexpectedly familiar. I remembered that last week my husband, who hadn't given me a gift in 800 years, found a beautifully packaged necklace box in his car. I happily took it out and put it on and thanked my husband for his kindness. His expression at the time was a bit surprised, but he quickly hugged me and said that it was what he should do. These two necklaces are exactly the same, and it turns out that they were not for me at all. Actually, thinking about it now, the two of them seem to have been acting strangely for a long time. Ever since my cousin added my husband's social media account, she would go to my husband for help with any problems she encountered, euphemistically saying that she didn't want to trouble me. Even when she was drunk at night, she would call my husband to pick her up, but it was me who answered the phone. She panicked and said that the remarks for sister and brother-in-law were only one word away, so she misread it. My husband has not paid attention to his personal image since we got married, but recently he asks me to help him iron his clothes every day and also uses hairspray. When I questioned him, he immediately complained, "Didn't you detest I was sloppy? I'm more diligent, but you're still not happy?" Very impatient. Moreover, our sex life has been unharmonious for a long time, and he always says he is tired every time. I initially thought it was because of his high work pressure, but it turned out that he was eating his fill outside before coming back. Sure enough, wild flowers are more fragrant than domestic flowers. The two people's chat history was deleted cleanly, and I don't know when the two of them hooked up. I angrily held the phone, remembering that I had taken care of my cousin wholeheartedly during this period. But I didn't expect to raise such a white-eyed wolf. She had just graduated from college and came to the city to work hard on her own. I pitied her and took her in. And Maya was also very discerning, taking care of the house very cleanly. But I didn't expect that she would also take care of my husband, by the way. My aunt at home would call me from time to time and ask me to take good care of my cousin, saying that she was the first college student in our family and the hope of the whole family, showing off her daughter's excellence in her words. She also said that although I am living a good life now, I am only a technical secondary school graduate, implying that I am far inferior to her daughter, and it is my honor to be able to take care of my cousin. I couldn't sleep and heard noises coming from my cousin's room. I walked over and heard my cousin calling her mother, who is also my aunt. "Mom, don't worry, my brother-in-law is completely under my control. That stupid woman, my sister, doesn't know anything yet. My brother-in-law is successful in his career. How can my sister be worthy of him? I am young and beautiful. What can she use to compete with me? Don't worry, Mom. When I gain a firm foothold here, I will take you over immediately. Let you enjoy the good life." How dare these two mother and daughter leeches set their sights on me? It turns out that everything was planned by the two of them, and my husband, our 7-year marriage, actually fell into the gentle trap without even resisting. The betrayal of family and love made my heart ache. Since you are unrighteous first, don't blame me for being ungrateful. Tomorrow is the day when my husband's elder brother returns to China, and we are going to welcome him back. A bold idea came to my mind, too. Although they are said to be my husband's elder brother, they are actually the same age as my husband. They are twins. However, the elder brother is far superior to my husband in terms of appearance and career. He graduated with a doctorate degree from a foreign country and was immediately hired by a top 100 domestic enterprise with an annual salary of 1 million yuan. Moreover, he has never been heard of having a girlfriend for so many years, and he has devoted himself to his career. In the evening, my husband and cousin sent me messages at the same time, saying that they were working overtime and would be home later. I'm afraid they are working overtime together in a hotel, right? I pretended not to know and replied that they had worked hard, and that I would prepare tonight's meal to welcome the elder brother. My husband praised me for being sensible, and then did not reply for a long time, probably having a fierce battle. If you want to destroy the enemy, you must first let it expand. Moreover, it suits my wishes that they will come back later. I put on sexy lace underwear with a curvy figure. Although I am nearly 30 years old, I am full of charm, adding a bit of the charm of a married woman. My husband, who doesn't know the goods, doesn't know what he likes about Maya's flat figure. It can only be said that a dog can't change its habit of eating shit, and any man will steal. The doorbell rang, and I let out a coquettish, "I'm coming," and went to open the door. The elder brother was standing outside the door with a bouquet of flowers. When he saw my proud cleavage, he was instantly stunned. I naturally took the bouquet and coquettishly said, "Husband, you are so thoughtful." Then, after showing off my figure, I covered my mouth and pretended to be surprised to find that I had mistaken the person, and quickly returned to my bedroom to put on a coat. "I'm sorry, elder brother, I didn't know it was you." Elder brother's ears turned red visibly. Could this guy not have been in a relationship at his age? So easily shy? The room was a candlelight dinner I had prepared. The lights were dim and had a special charm. As I closed the door, the elder brother and I, a lonely man and a widow, were in this ambiguous atmosphere. "Elder brother, please sit down first, they will be back later." I pulled the elder brother's arm and led him to sit down. The elder brother's eyes were always on me, and he would quickly look away when he occasionally made eye contact. His Adam's apple rolled. He adjusted his glasses frame, gentle but restrained. "Elder brother, help me serve the dishes." I softly called out, and the elder brother hurriedly got up, slipped, and pressed me down on the sofa. The two people were instantly close together, feeling each other's body temperature, and my coat was held down by him with one hand, and my shoulders fell off, revealing my attractive collarbone and fair skin. The stereo suddenly played lingering songs, and the elder brother stared at me without blinking. I did not push him away, but lowered my eyebrows shyly, feeling his aggressive gaze. I knew that the first step was successful. Suddenly, the doorbell rang. "Sister, are you in a hurry?" Fortunately, I saw my brother-in-law just now. He brought a lot of dishes. If it weren't for me, I don't know how tired he would be. The elder brother and I were already sitting at the table in a dignified manner. My expression was calm, while the elder brother, including my husband and cousin, who had just entered the door, were all flushed. They sat down with their own thoughts, and we gathered around the dining table. Actually, I also thought about it. Seducing the elder brother is an immoral thing, and besides, it was my cousin and husband who did something wrong. He shouldn't have been involved by me. But the elder brother should also keep a distance from his sister-in-law. Shouldn't he? He obviously didn't refuse me just now. In fact, he and my husband are the same kind of people. Moreover, when it comes to being innocent, I am the most innocent person. Since everyone has taken their seats, let the good show begin. 3. After a brief and polite exchange of greetings, my husband wasn't very fond of his elder brother, because he had always been overshadowed by him since childhood. Perhaps it was the elder brother's mature and steady demeanor that made my cousin feel that he was a good catch. She began to take the initiative to pour wine for the elder brother, and also praised him for being young and promising. These few words touched my husband's sensitive spot, and his face instantly turned ugly. He coughed. My cousin immediately served my husband some food again. She sweetly said, "Brother-in-law has also been very busy today. I haven't used these chopsticks." But my husband picked the food out and said angrily, "I don't have much appetite today." My cousin was obviously a little embarrassed. I watched my cousin, who was trying to please everyone, and felt tired for her. The three people had their own thoughts, and I observed them secretly. You have to eat even if you don't have an appetite. The dishes were made by me with great effort, and my cousin has served them to you. We sisters are serving you so well, and you are still not satisfied? You have taken all the good things, and you are still acting like you have been wronged here. Did I owe you something in my previous life? Perhaps it was a bit sensitive to hear the words, "We sisters are serving you." My husband and cousin's secret was exposed. My husband immediately felt a little uneasy, and then in order to clear himself of this sentence, he quickly picked the dish back and said with a smile, Where? My cousin's movements were also a bit stiff, and then I said with a smile, "It's the first day for elder brother to return to China. Let's all have a few more drinks with elder brother. Be happy." Everyone at the table quickly became a bit drunk. I pretended to have a headache and asked my cousin and husband to clear the table. The elder brother also said that he was tired from the journey and would go to rest first. In this way, I deliberately left time and space for my cousin and husband. Remember to take a shower before going to bed. I specially reminded them thoughtfully. After returning to the bedroom, my husband called my name outside, and I pretended to be asleep and did not respond. Soon I heard the sound of water in the bathroom and some moaning sounds. As expected, they were having an affair at home. Since they were so shameless and didn't care about me, then I didn't need to care about my husband. I gently pushed open the elder brother's door. The elder brother was fast asleep. He was half naked, and his strong muscles and smooth lines faintly reflected light in the moonlight. At first glance, the elder brother was a self-disciplined person who loved fitness. And then thinking of my husband's skinny body like ribs, I immediately felt nauseous. I walked over slowly, put my hand on the elder brother's chest and slid it down with my nails. The elder brother was drunk, his face flushed, and he murmured. I smiled and took off my coat, stroked the elder brother's face and bent down. 4. The elder brother tilted his head, seeming to enjoy my hand wandering on his chest. He snorted softly, his eyes half open and half closed. Actually, I don't know if he is asleep or awake in his current state, but undoubtedly he doesn't resist me. I gently brushed his lips with my fingertips, and when I left, his head tilted upwards, as if trying to keep my fingers. After doing this repeatedly a few times, he seemed to have a strong feeling. I want. Faster. He spit out a few words vaguely, and his body couldn't help but move upwards. Seeing that the time was ripe, I gently and slowly left his side. I wanted him to be in this hazy state, making him unable to distinguish between reality and illusion, like a dream and yet real. At this moment, I heard the sound of water in the bathroom suddenly stop. They might be about to finish. I tiptoed back to the bedroom and lay down, pretending to be fast asleep. After the dog men and women finished their affair, they were still not satisfied, and continued to hug and kiss in the living room, reluctant to part. Perhaps the indulgence just now made both of them excited, and the sound of kissing was loud. The two people were really getting bolder and bolder. Then, I heard the two people's affectionate conversation again. Little vixen, do you want to drain me dry? Brother-in-law, how dare I? I don't have enough time to love you. You were really too mighty just now. My sister is really lucky. TCH, don't mention that stinky woman at this time. It's disgusting to think about it. Isn't it just that she has some stinky money and can do business? She puts on a dead face all day for whom to see. As he spoke, my husband's hand began to become dishonest again. You are still the most considerate and gentle. Then when can brother-in-law give me a title? Soon. My husband entered the battlefield again. It is said that a man's flowering period is very short, and my husband is even more so. Since he was not as good as 30 years old, His physical function directly declined sharply. The few seconds of fancy moves he usually used on me were actually so brave with my cousin. What a scumbag. The next day, my husband was still asleep because he was too tired last night. I don't know when he ended last night. I got up to prepare breakfast. At this time, the elder brother also came out of the room. The moment our eyes met, the elder brother's ears turned red again. I went to bed early last night. You must have cleaned up very late, right? He was testing my whereabouts last night, and I smiled lightly. Of course, it was exhausting for me. The elder brother seemed a little lost when he heard that I was busy last night. At this time, my cousin also got up. She used to dress neatly, but today she came out of the bedroom wearing cool pajamas. Although she looked sleepy, I immediately saw that she had makeup on and had done her hair. This is a deliberate pretense of a barefaced and lazy feeling. Maya is indeed a very smart woman. She has put a lot of effort into my husband, but has not been able to get a response from him. Now that the elder brother has appeared, handsome, rich, and unmarried, he is obviously a better choice than my husband. I saw through her little thoughts at a glance, but endured it without saying anything, just quietly making tea. This three-person play is getting more and more exciting. 5. Brother, I heard from my brother-in-law that you are studying for a doctorate abroad. You are really amazing. My cousin showed an admiring look, but the elder brother just nodded lightly. My cousin, who was frustrated, did not give up, and she continued to exude her charm. Brother, I can't open this bottle of water. Can you help me? The elder brother glanced at it, and then asked in confusion, Didn't your sister make tea for you? Why are you still drinking cold water? I smiled inwardly. Is this elder brother too insensitive to tell the truth? Or is he pretending? Maya was stunned, and then a little embarrassed. I'm used to drinking cold water in the morning. I poured 2 cups of tea and handed them to the two of them. The elder brother quickly took my tea and drank it in one gulp, but was scalded and coughed a few times. I laughed and said, What's the rush? It's delicious. Cough, cough. The elder brother was choked and still didn't forget to support me, and then said that he had something to do today, so he went out. My cousin was obviously sullen and a little unhappy. She is young and beautiful, and indeed has the capital to be proud, but she is still too young, only knows how to use her appearance to seduce men, and most of those men are not good things. I held my water glass and spoke in a serious manner to my cousin. Have you found a job? My cousin was stunned. Since graduating this month, her daily thoughts and efforts have been spent on how to seduce her husband. The matter of finding a job has long been forgotten. I think it's not too urgent to graduate. You always have to go to a few more companies for interviews to gain experience. You are so beautiful. There should be many people chasing you at school, right? Speaking of this, my cousin confidently raised her head and then said disdainfully, Of course there are, but they are all poor and stingy boys who have nothing. Why should I suffer with them? Well, she has big ambitions, so she wants to find an old man who can take care of her for the rest of her life, who didn't come from poverty. Isn't my brother-in-law? His family is so rich, and his brother is also very powerful. I will find someone like this in the future. Sister, you don't know, I am so envious of you. There is no longer the innocence of a student in my cousin's eyes, but full of utilitarianism. She was originally a beautiful college student, and she should have been able to forge a good path by her own efforts. But now she has degenerated and chose what she thought was a shortcut to success. What is there to envy me? No matter how good my marriage is, wasn't it still interfered with by you in the end? But when you interfere in other people's marriage, don't you think that you will also be interfered with by others? The garbage I don't want is regarded as a treasure here by you, but this may be influenced by her mother. After all, my aunt was also a mistress when she was young, and was scolded by my mother and driven out of the house. Originally, we were not going to have any contact with each other, but now she is begging me to help her daughter, and after I help her, she has to slander me and say that I am not as good as her daughter, and join hands to destroy my family. At this time, my cousin said that her aunt would come in the evening, and I declined, saying that I had something to do in the evening. My cousin was instantly visibly happy and hurriedly said that I should be busy and it didn't matter. Then at night, my husband said that he would work overtime and would not come back. Okay, so this is already rushing to recognize other people's mother as a mother-in-law? 6. Now they should be having a happy dinner together, discussing how their family should live after divorcing me. Little do they know that I had already put a voice recorder in my husband's briefcase. I listened to the voice coming from the phone, and my aunt's giggling was particularly harsh. I have only one request. As long as you treat our Maya well in the future, I don't care about anything else. But our Maya is not young anymore. Anyway, you and your wife have long lost your feelings. It's the right thing to kick that woman away as soon as possible. Is Maya trying to force a palace coup herself, and then brought her own mother to coerce her? My aunt is indeed a seasoned mistress, and what she says is really a set of routines. Acting like a saint while doing something evil. It's really a disgusting face. When my mother was still alive, she didn't even dare to return to our house. And it's not convenient for you to keep living together, right? If you have difficulties in divorcing, it's better to buy a house for Maya first and move out to live in. Sure enough, she came for the money. My husband is really useless. Although his family is rich, he lost a lot of money in his early years when he learned from others to start a company. He is not a material for doing business. So since then, all the money is under my control. Where would he have money to buy a house? But our money is all controlled by my wife. I also want to give Maya a home, but I can't help it. You are her man, can she rebel against you? If she doesn't give it to you, you have to. If she is tough, you will beat her until she is obedient. These words made my lungs explode with anger. How dare she instigate my husband to beat me? Okay, you old witch is so selfish and vicious, then don't blame me. I saved the recording, and at this time the elder brother opened the door and came back. He saw that I was unhappy and didn't speak. He turned around and went to the kitchen to make a delicious cheese corn for me. Have something sweet when you are in a bad mood. Looking at the considerate and gentle elder brother, I can't help but sigh. How can the difference be so big when they are born from the same mother? I sat on the sofa, looking at this man who was 7 or 8 points similar to my husband, but had more handsome and tall facial features. Evil thoughts popped up. Why didn't I marry him in the first place? Even if he cheats in the future, at least he will be better looking, right? Have you ever had a girlfriend? My question made the elder brother stunned for a moment, and then I only heard him say, "Not yet." Won't it be? Wouldn't he still be a virgin? 7. While sorting through the clothes, I suddenly found the medicine in the drawer by my husband's bed. It was actually a male enhancement drug. No wonder he was like an attacking Spartan warrior every time he was with Maya, and like a wilted eggplant when he was with me. It turned out that he was secretly taking medicine every time. And under the medicine box, there was also a medical report. It said that my husband not only had sexual dysfunction, but also his sperm survival rate was less than 1%. No wonder my husband kept telling me that he didn't want children. It turns out that he was infertile. I held this piece of paper, and an idea came to my mind. When I got home at night, I actually ran into Maya coming out of the elder brother's room. Her eyes were red, and she looked very aggrieved. She cried and returned to her room, completely unaware of my existence. What is going on? Could it be that the elder brother has taken action against Maya? I thought that the elder brother was an upright person, but I didn't expect that he was not a good thing either. I originally wanted to stop the revenge behavior of using him, but looking at it this way, I should use it to the end. Anyway, none of them are good people. After a while, I went into Maya's room with a worried face. Maya was obviously already in a good mood. When she saw that I was not right, she asked me what was wrong. Although she cared on the surface, there was a trace of expectation in her eyes. She expected that the reason for my sadness was that my husband proposed a divorce to me. I sighed and said, "Your brother-in-law has always wanted children, but we have not been pregnant for many years. Recently he has urged me again, and I am under great pressure." Maya was shocked. Didn't brother-in-law say before that he didn't want children? How do you know he didn't want them? I immediately asked back, and Maya suddenly became a little stuttered, but still stubbornly said, It was mentioned once during a meal before. Sister, you are forgetful, otherwise how would I know? I held her hand with tears in my eyes. He just doesn't care on the surface and is looking for a step for me. In fact, he really wants a child. He also said that as long as there is a child, he will give all the properties under his name to him. Maya was stunned when she heard this. Her brain began to spin rapidly because her husband had clearly promised to marry her. How could he want a child with me at this time? And he also said that the child would inherit all the property. Maya began to have doubts in her heart, and I was very satisfied to see her in a thoughtful look, because I have been sleeping very early these past few nights, and the two of them have tasted the sweetness of having an affair at home. They have become even more unscrupulous. Maya has obviously been working harder these past few nights than before. It seems that she has listened to my words. When will you get a divorce? Don't urge me so tightly. The money is still in her hands. What will I use to marry you? Then what you said before about loving me was all fake. I snickered and couldn't help but sneak over to continue listening. The two people quarrel more and more fiercely, and Maya began to have a crying voice. At this moment, I suddenly felt someone pushing me from behind. I hurriedly turned around and fell into a warm embrace. When I looked up, I met the deep eyes of the elder brother. 8. What are you doing? The elder brother's magnetic voice brushed against my ear, and the sexual tension that I had never felt from my husband was now at its peak. That natural masculine hormone aura made me a little trance. At this time, Maya's crying and shouting came. Are you lying to me? You don't love me at all. Otherwise, why haven't you divorced that woman yet? This sentence pulled my reason back, but at this time the elder brother straightened my body and pressed me against the wall. He pinched my chin with his hand, and his seductive breath wandered around my shoulders and neck. So they too have an affair. Just this sentence made the fig leaf of the secret that I had been hiding for so many days suddenly torn open. The long-lost grievance and unwillingness inexplicably reached their peak at this moment. The elder brother's embrace was indeed warm, and I gently leaned my head on his body. I was just too long without such a support. I am also a woman, and I also need comfort. I just want to steal a little time in his arms to let myself escape for a while. No matter whose embrace it is, just for a while. So you want to use me to take revenge on them too? I suddenly raised my head, and the elder brother was much smarter than I imagined. Yes, he is a highly educated student who has returned from overseas, and his IQ and insight are naturally very high. But why did I have the illusion that he was reacting slowly? Is it because he is very easy to be shy and has never been in a relationship? It seems that I feel that I am the one who is deceived by his persona. Then you have to take revenge on him properly. I think it's better to. While talking, the elder brother's hand began to become dishonest. I subconsciously resisted, but the elder brother's next words made me freeze in place. You weren't so resistant when you teased me that night. You were very active. You weren't asleep that night? I asked and ejaculated. 9. At the same time, Maya and her husband's quarrel also entered a white-hot stage. Seeing that there was no hope of fighting for a title with her husband, Maya gritted her teeth and said, Then I'm pregnant. Will you give the child a title? The husband was silent for a moment. At this time, the elder brother's hand suddenly reached into my skirt, and the other hand suddenly pinched that soft mass, and I couldn't control myself and exclaimed. The two people instantly discovered me, and the elder brother in the corner. You. What are you doing? My brother and I were almost tightly attached to each other, and the elder brother's hand was still on my body. The husband angrily pointed at me, then looked at the elder brother. I have always respected you, but you actually attacked your sister-in-law. You are a beast. But the elder brother said unhurriedly, Didn't you also attack your sister-in-law? You. The husband was exposed and still refused to admit it. He quickly quibbled. We just happened to meet when we came out for a drink of water at night. We didn't do anything. On the contrary, your posture is really shameless. Didn't do anything? If you didn't do anything, why would someone's sister get pregnant for no reason? When the husband heard this, he became even more anxious. How do I know why she is pregnant? That must not be my child. When Maya heard this, She immediately slapped her husband. Anyway, when she said she was pregnant, she had already prepared for a complete break. Even if I find out about their affair now, she can take the opportunity to directly expose the matter, so that I can abdicate as soon as possible and make her the official wife. Whose is this child if not yours? Don't put on your pants and refuse to recognize anyone. You bitch, don't pour dirty water on me. Don't take other people's bastards and surround me. I thought you were so pure, but I didn't expect you to be a slut. What bastard? Don't want to admit the account, right? This child is yours. What evidence do you have to say that the child is not yours? It's just not mine. After speaking, the husband slapped Maya. Maya became anxious. She screamed and pounced on her husband, scratching him and pinching him with her nails to vent her anger. The husband was not to be outdone, and the two immediately wrestled together. This dog-eat-dog plot was really enjoyable to watch, and I couldn't help but applaud. Let me tell you why he is so sure that this child is not his. Because he is infertile, understand? Speaking of taking out the test sheet, Maya was completely stunned in place, and she was completely exposed. 10. Maya had a boyfriend, and I had known this for a long time. I accidentally bumped into it one day when I came back from buying groceries. But at that time, I didn't know that she had an affair with my husband. I only heard Maya crying and saying that she was pregnant. Based on the principle of respecting other people's privacy, I didn't ask Maya about it. But that day I discovered Maya and my husband's affair. Only then did I know that Maya not only wanted to find an old man to take care of her, but also wanted to find a sucker for the child in her belly. She was unable to force the palace for a long time, and I also gave her some pointers, saying that my husband liked children the most, and she would definitely use this to threaten him in the end. Looking at Maya, my husband spit at her in disgust, and then cursed at me, saying that I was not decent. At this time, the elder brother leaned close to my ear and said in a low voice, "If you kiss me now, I will give you a little surprise." Before he finished speaking, I directly kissed his mouth. My husband was stunned, and then rushed up to beat the elder brother. The elder brother's expression was obviously also not right, but his ears were visibly red again. And how could my husband's thin body be a match for the elder brother, who often exercised? In less than 2 moves, he was firmly pressed to the ground by the elder brother and unable to move. "I've known about your affair with Maya for a long time." My husband raised his head in horror, muttering, "Impossible. You were just caught by me for having an affair and talking nonsense." I kissed the elder brother just to provoke my husband, and didn't think too much about it. I unhurriedly took out the video. This is a video of you two having an affair in the living room, kitchen, bathroom, and balcony at home these past few days. Do you want me to play it back for you to review? When my husband saw the irrefutable evidence in my hand, he was speechless. "Oh, right. And there is also your conversation with your aunt, scheming to liquidate my property. You really thought it through." I went up and slapped my husband. He was controlled by the elder brother and unable to fight back, so he could only let me beat him to vent my anger. "What do you think will happen if I put these things in the places where you two work?" "Sister, don't." Maya started kneeling down and begging me at this time. She still wanted to save face, and her aunt's voice was also inside. If it were spread out, their mother and daughter would both be ruined. "Get out of my house now, and never let me see you again." "But sister, it's midnight." "Get out." Maya was startled, and she quickly stood up from the ground and left in a panic. My husband's lips trembled, and he asked me what I wanted to do. "It's very simple. We get a divorce, and you leave empty-handed." 11. After divorcing my husband, I became rich and transformed into a wealthy woman. Having gotten rid of the scumbag and the bitch, I feel more and more refreshed. Later, the elder brother specially showed me what the little surprise he mentioned that day was. It turned out that Maya deliberately wore sexy lingerie to seduce the elder brother, but was scolded by the elder brother. And there are complete audio and video recordings. It seems that the elder brother's reconnaissance awareness is also very strong. I felt something was wrong as soon as I came here, especially your cousin. She made me feel very uncomfortable. After that day, I guessed that she and my brother were very likely to have something going on. And I thought about keeping the evidence with me, in case it could help you. But I didn't expect that you already knew about it. You are quite smart. I suddenly realized that the elder brother also knew about it so early. So he knew from the beginning that I approached him for revenge on my husband? Then why did you still let me mess around? Who made me fall in love with you at first sight?